What is up, everybody? This is Nomad 1012. I had to break up the video, so this is going to be part 2 of the comparison between the Jordan 1 OG Chicago, the Off-White by Virgil, the Homage to Home, and Spiderman. So I just finished talking about the Chicago 1 and the Off-White on the first video. At the end of my first video, I was just going over the box for the Homage to Home and how much it is and when it was released. So now I'm going to move on to the shoe. So you're probably wondering, well, why did I add the shoe to the comparison? Well, that's easy, because one side of this shoe is Chicago, and I really just want to focus on the Chicago side, although we'll talk about the other side too, but we're going to focus on the Chicago side first, because if you look at it in a certain angle like this way, all you see is Chicago, and that's it. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the toe box. So this is the toe box, and let's do a quick press test and check out the leather. Right, so definitely I would say the leather on the Homage to Home, and I'm going to try to see if I can focus in on the leather right here. It's really soft and it's really good in quality, you guys. So I'm sure you've heard of other reviewers out there saying the same thing about the Homage to Home, about its quality, and I can tell you, I can confirm that it's really good, you guys. And I was actually on the fence about picking this up, because I thought it was kind of weird having a half and half shoes, I mean. And eventually it grew on me, and I thought I was gonna end up letting it go at one point, but in this case I'm actually going to keep it, because it's one of those collector's items, and I love both colorways displayed on these shoes. So yeah, to me, this is definitely a no-brainer, and I think I'm going to keep it. So going back to the review here, as far as the leather quality, so far I would have to say that the leather quality on the Homage to Home is ranking number 1 compared to the Chicago and the Off-White. The Off-White, to be honest with you guys, it's almost like cardboard-ish, plasticky-ish, and not a whole lot of good quality leather that's on that shoe, in my opinion. Actually, it's not an opinion, it's an observation. So definitely the quality leather on the Off-White, I would rank it right now at the lowest compared to the 3 so far. So right now, I would say, as far as the leather quality, this would have to be ranked number 1, the Homage to Home, and then ranked number 2 would be the Chicago OG, and then third, I would say distant third would be Off-White. Okay, so again, we're going to focus on the Chicago side of the shoes. So on this side right here, we don't really see the Wings logo. The Wings logo is on the outer side of the shoe. This is the medial side. But I just want to focus in on the stitching and some other items on the shoe. The stitching on the shoe, I want to say is A1 quality, you guys, on the Homage to Home. I think they use a bigger thread to do the stitching, and it's much more prominent compared to the other shoes. And I'm going to try to see if I can focus in so that you can take a look for yourself. Focus. Here we go. So here it is. The stitching on it is really good. On the ankle side is very good leather right here. And if I press on it, as you can see, man, it's just butter, man. Movie theater butter. Look at that. And then on the swoosh, the leather on that looks really good too. Yeah, everything about it is pretty good, man. Um, I'm gonna move back to the tongue because I think I missed the tongue here. So as you can see, it's split right down the middle. So it has that Scarface looking thing, you know. Uh, you got the Nike Air branding. Let's spend a little time on the tongue here, man. So the tongue for the Homage to Home, it's not very thick, you guys. It's like a different material. Like on the Chicago ones right here, the tongue so far is like the thickest, and to me it's a lot more dense as far as the foam inside. And then on the off-white, it's pretty good, but not as good as the Chicago ones, as far as the density of the foam. But when this one, there isn't a whole lot of foam and support that I can tell on this one. It's kind of stiff. And then if you look at the back side of the tongue, you can see that the material used for it is different. The shoelaces on the Homage to Home is just standard, but I did notice that they are a little bit thicker compared to the other two that we talked about. I'm gonna remove the insert here. So here's the insert, you guys. It's just standard. Looking at the inside of the shoe, the insole is black, size 9.5. Then you got the hanging tag right there, label. Okay. Pretty standard. Now on the ankle side of the Homage to Home, as far as the material here, it looks really good, man. It's like soft and a lot more support and padding, especially compared to the off-white. And the Chicago's is pretty good too. There's a little bit of you know, support there, but off-white, very thin, not a whole lot of padding there. Now, earlier I talked about the Nike, or actually the Jordan Air Wings logo. I feel like I needed to cover that on this shoe because we did cover it on the previous shoes. So as you can see, it kind of looks like the Chicago ones. Not a whole lot of difference there. It does have the trademark. Okay. Man, by the way, look at this side right here. Look at the leather quality on this side. And let me just press the leather and squeeze it a little bit. Yeah. So this is the reason why I started liking these shoes, is because the quality on this one is just unreal, you guys. So if you haven't picked one up, I suggest that you do so. Seems like the resale on it kind of plateaued, and so you can probably pick them up at a decent price at this time. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the shoelaces, the extra shoelaces that comes with the Homage to Home. It does come with the shoelace attached to the left shoe. So as you can see, they have it in a circular, they rolled it up in a circular pattern right here. And there's no Nike Air or Jordan branding stamped on it. Okay, so that's just it right there. So as far as the material and the pattern on the laces, it does match with the black laces, so that's good. All right, you guys, we're gonna talk about the last shoe right here. So we're gonna look at the latest release that kind of looks like the Chicago ones, and that is the Spidermans. So with this one, man, I was actually I took an L for these Spidermans. For some reason, I just could not get them at retail. I had trouble, and I really did try. And so I ended up picking this up from Stock X. So, all right, so let's go ahead and jump into the shoe box real quick. Let me focus in on that one right there. All right, so you got the label right here for the box, size 9.5. The colors: gym red, black, white, and photo blue. Looks like my battery is going low here, so I'm gonna hit OK. All right, so so this is the shoe box. Nothing special here on the inside, you guys. You got your standard, you know, tissue. Nothing much right there. I'm gonna move on to the shoe before my battery runs out. All right, so here's the toe box. Let's do a quick press test on the shoe. Definitely more tumbled. I was really sold on the shoe when I saw these, because I was like, man, this is like a Chicago OG. Why not, right? So as you can see, it took a little bit while to get back up, to bounce back up when I pressed on that toe box. So really good quality leather right here. A little bit tumbled, as you can see. I'm going to move on to the tongue. So the tongue on this one is similar to the Chicago ones as far as like the foam density. The only big difference is that label over here, the Nike Air. The background is like blue instead of red, just like the Chicago's. So I'll move it to the side over here. And then if you look at the label on the back side, you know, we have that contrasting color, red and blue, which looks really good, you guys, in person. So what we have here is the shoe insert, and then here's the back side of the tongue. And if you look at the inside of the shoe, as you can see, it's different from the Chicago ones OG. The insole is blue, and the writing for the Nike Air branding is like in red. And let me take a quick moment here to look at the tag. So that's the tag. So this one pretty much resembles the OG Chicago as far as the ankle area. I don't see a whole lot of difference there, but there is a little bit of difference on the shoelaces. So the shoelace tips are in red. So this is the only one that I could see in the comparison that has a different shoelace. So if you look at the back, there's the back. There's a little bit of a tumbled leather there too, for sure. And looking at the side, man, oh, you have to excuse me. Let me just take a quick drink. I've been talking too much doing this video. So on this one right here, as you can see, the swoosh is not made out of leather. It's kind of different, made in a different material, and as you can see, it's like shiny for the swoosh. And then you got that 3M reflective dotted pattern all over the shoe. Part of the shoe, not all over. So I'm gonna try to see if I can hit that with a light to kind of show you what it looks like. Alright, moving on to the bottoms, you got the Icy Bottoms. This will eventually yellow over time once you start wearing them, but you know what? I take exception on this one. It's at the bottom anyway, and you really can't see it when you're walking. So I'm cool with that when this turns yellow. Looking at the medial side, it's pretty much the same. So you got the same leather quality on this one right here. So if you ask me, man, as far as the leather quality goes between all four pairs, I would have to rank the Homage as number one. The Chicago, actually the Homage, I'm sorry, I meant to say Spiderman takes second on the rank as far as the leather quality goes. And then you got the Chicago next, and then the off-white, terrible leather on that one. So just last thoughts, you guys. Let's talk about the resale value. So the resale value on each of these shoes are pretty good in my opinion right now. As far as the Chicago goes, like for a size 9.5, the highest ask right now is $916. Looking at StockX, if you take a look at the resale value for the off-white, let me just see if I can pull it up real quick over here. Oh, where is it? So the off-white resale value, man, it's pretty high. So the lowest ask is $3,800. The highest bid is like $3,400. So the shoes were only $200 when they first came out. So yeah, you have a pretty significant gain right here if you sell your pair right now. And if you take a look at the Spiderman, so the Spiderman right now, the lowest ask is $419 and the highest bid is $413. Really, $6 difference. I mean, really, just pay the $6, dude. Who cares? And then for the Homage to Home is probably the lowest out of the four. The lowest ask is $374 and the highest bid is $362. But like I said, man, as far as the quality goes, this one right here ranks number one in my opinion. So I'm not even sure why that one is like lowest out of the four. So again, last thoughts. I really like the silhouette for the Jordan 1s, and Chicago colorway is probably one of my favorite out there. So I'm very glad that I have each and every one of these in my collection. I didn't go over the color yet between the three over here. I didn't rank the color yet, but if I were to rank them, I like the color on the Homage to Home as far as the red goes and the white goes, because the red on the Homage to Home is much deeper compared to the rest. The color on the Spiderman as far as the red goes is a little bit faded, and I think it's meant to be faded, but I'm cool with that. I like it too. So I would say if I were to rank them, I rank this number one for the Homage to Home when it comes to the red color on the Chicago, and then I would rank this number two, and then three, three, and then four. So that's just how I would rank them. As far as wearing them every day, I would say it's probably easier to wear the Chicago OG and the Spiderman every day. This one right here, like I said, this is more of a collector's item, and it's gonna be a little bit hard to find a fit that matches with this. And this one right here, it will definitely break some necks, man. Like if you wear this, everybody's gonna be looking at your feet. So definitely be cautious when you wear the off-white, because there's a lot of shoe violence out there, which we don't need. So but as far as wearing it every day, I would definitely wear this and wear this. Now I did double up on this, so that's because I just couldn't buy a second one of the Chicagos anymore, because the prices on them were just definitely astronomical. Let me see if I missed anything. So I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about, everything that I wanted to go over between all four of the shoes. Again, this is an idea that I had, that I've always wanted to do, and I don't think anyone out there has made a video like this, so I'm really excited to post this online, and then maybe get everyone's thoughts and comments about it. Let me know, you guys. This is all I have for today. Please leave a comment. Please leave a like if you like what I did, making a comparison here. And you know, I'm new to YouTube, so if you want to go ahead and subscribe too, that would be great. So because I'm gonna constantly keep thinking of new materials that I can post, and then keep everyone engaged that way. So thanks you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.